Welcome back to Uncover Your Magic. I want to first thank all of you for listening each week and sending me the sweetest message. Oh my gosh, the messages, the feedback, it has made me beyond grateful. Thank you so much. Hearing from you keeps me so motivated to grow and to make this podcast even bigger. It makes me want to, inspires me to find guests that we can learn from and just be so much more empowered from. I have learned so much this year from all of my guests. I have always loved to learn, but having a podcast has taken it to the next level. As most of you know, when I started this podcast, I didn't really know where it was going to lead me. I took inspired action, which is a must in manifesting, and listened to that little voice every day, laying the breadcrumbs to this magical place I call now. I wake up in the morning and can't wait to see what I can create, manifest, or make a difference in someone's life. I truly have found my passion and it feels so good. As I follow the breadcrumbs, it has led me to creating courses for kids and parents to teach them these tools about goal setting, law of attraction, getting into alignment every day to see magic, which are things I wished I had known when I was in middle school or high school. I would have made better decisions, known how important visualizing and creating my future by writing things down as if they were done, and keeping my vibration on high so I could see the magic. Remember, the magic is there every day, and if you don't see it, then it just means that you're not in alignment to see it. So to now be able to teach these kids these tools and see them get so inspired lights me up. I feel like I have been called to help kids, especially during this pandemic, to see their light and to give them tools so their life can be easier, happier, and inspire them to dream bigger. Right now, I feel like kids don't know the power that they have and that they can dream so big. And when you see that they learn that they can dream bigger, oh, it's amazing. The light bulb goes off and now the dreams just get gigantic. It's so amazing and just makes me so excited. And just the knowing, to have them have the knowing that they can be, do, or have anything. And that we know that to teach them that we are so much more powerful than we think, than we know. I found my guest today from reading his book, The Power of I Am. I am such a true believer in saying I am statements. The girls and I have done them every day on our way to school since they were in first grade. We have never missed a day. This is how our I ams go. I am healthy. I am strong. I am safe. I am protected in God's white light. I am beautiful. I am loving. I am kind. I am amazing. I am smart. I am creative. And it goes on and on. We even say them in the mirror and look deep into our eyes. It was something I learned from Louise Hay in all of her books many years ago. It's powerful. You should try it. So before I introduce my guest today, if you want to be on my wait list for my next Raising Confidence course, send me an email to ashleygoner@gmail.com. I'm also going to have free classes each month on Zoom for my listeners. The first one is going to be with Royce Christian on his powerful scripting tools from his book, Scripting the Life You Want. And then I'm going to have Gary Temple Bodley and his message through Joshua, and then Ellie Molina and her intuition teachings. And then also David Strickle and the streams message, and so many more amazing guest speakers that will create even more magic in your life. So please send me an email so you don't miss these incredible opportunities to learn from these gifted souls that have inspired me. And I want you to have this opportunity for them to inspire you as well. So send me an email so I can add you to the list so you won't miss out. Now, on to our episode. Today's guest is R.J. Banks. He is an author of the best-selling book, The Power of I Am and the Law of Attraction. Even through difficult times, RJ has trained his mind to think of I am with positive desires automatically. He rarely thinks of things that can shake his spirit, even when he had brain surgery and became blind. He is truly a positive force in this world. His story will inspire you as it truly inspired me to be grateful. Remember, life is always happening for you, not to you, and live each day in the moment and be thankful for the gifts of life. We are all here to learn and grow. And when you hear stories like RJ's, you will think if he can remain positive and look at his life as a blessing when there has been such a hardship, then you can too. I can't wait for you to meet RJ Banks. So without further ado, please welcome RJ to the show.
Hello,
Welcome.
hello.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
Thank you for being here. I have thoroughly enjoyed. I read your book. I listened to it on my in the Audible too on my run. I'm a big believer in I am. I've done I am statements my whole since what I really have done it probably in my 30s. I knew Abraham Hicks and I studied all that when I
Mhm.
was, 30 years ago. And I've always done that. And now I have children and we have done that since they could talk. So we do all the I am statements. We have every morning our routine. We look in the mirror too. We do everything. So I'm a huge believer in it, which is why I wanted to share your magic on my show because I feel that what we speak the same language and I get excited when someone has that same mindset and knows how important whatever
Right.
ends whatever is after the I am is huge, right?
Exactly.
So introduce yourself, and I love your story, and go wherever you want to go to bring it because I want you to explain your childhood and how you kind of were programmed by your
So we're just
dad.
gonna go the whole what thing, huh?
Well, a little bit, but I do want to talk about why I am statements are so powerful. And I know you just wrote a new book with a friend. So yeah, we'll go for it.
Okay. Okay. So starting off now, you were talking about that you were really impressed with the fact that I learned about the power of I am back when I was a young man. And it was something that I had been programmed. I can remember all the way back to like the fourth grade. My father was a huge fan of Earl Nightingale,
Mm.
and those of you who don't know who Earl Nightingale, it's easy now. I love this. You can just say Google him. Don't have to explain anything. Google
Right.
Earl Nightingale, and you'll find out. So he had a little show every morning from like 7 o'clock to 7:05. It was just a little morning prep talk type of thing, and and there was a little commercial, 30-second commercial in there at the end. So he would talk about something, then there would be a commercial, and then he would wrap it up with a summary. And so my dad would be at work, so he hired me. I get paid 25 cents a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is back in probably 1962.
Oh, how
And so
funny.
I would have to, we had a reel to reel recorder, and I would record or the little Earl Nightingale show for him every morning. And and I loved it because subliminally this was programming my little brain
Uh-huh.
to on the law of attraction and all these things. So I started learning about this stuff, and then once I got a little bit older, then of course, when you're young and stuff, everything is very physical,
Right.
and I remember it's like I almost felt like I had like superpowers because I could just like, I want a new fishing pole. I want a new fishing pole. Whatever it was, I would just concentrate on that. It seemed like, and then of course, you'd have to plant the little seeds to mom and dad or something. But
Right.
it
Huh.
seemed like whenever I really focused on would materialize in my life, and to where I almost felt like I had superpowers when I
Oh,
was
I
in
love it.
fourth, fifth grade. And it's like, I
Huh.
want this. And then of course I got a little bit older, and then once I got into junior high and high school, then I was more interested in fast cars and fast women. So
Oh, funny.
so I kind of like went full circle until I came back around as an adult. And what really did, now I went through the whole I guess I should have turned my phone off.
Oh, that's all right.
Hang on.
It's all good.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Hopefully it won't happen again. I don't even remember what I started to say.
You were talking about when you were
When I
older and you
got up to
didn't
the
care,
high
then you came back
school,
as an adult.
I came back in as an adult. And there was a point I was going to make right there. Okay. So as I came back as an adult, then, I mean, life kind of gets in the way of our hopes and dreams for so many people.
Right.
And we kind of get caught up in that life cycle, or whatever people choose to call it. And so I did the same thing, but I also always kept in mind this ace in the pocket, or whatever that you want to call it. And another thing that my father taught me was, whatever you do, do the very best that you can with whatever it is that you have to work with.
Yes.
So, it's like, whatever I got to work with, I'm going to do the very best that I can. So I've always done that. And I'm not saying that I'm an overachiever or anything, but I just, I always try to keep myself up on a higher level. And like, for instance, so, I joined the Air Force, and I was in the Air Force, and now the cream of the crop, the best of the best in the Air Force is the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. I got chosen to be one of the Thunderbirds. So I got to spend a couple of years. You only do it for 2 years. So, I mean, those are the kind of things. And I'm no different than anybody else. It's just where I focus. And to me, focus equals fuel. Where your attention goes, energy flows. That is where the law of attraction really came to fruition. And it all kind of came together for me is whatever I'm thinking about. So I have my phrase that I always, or sentences, is like, we are and attract into our lives what we choose to think, say, and believe about ourselves and our perceived reality.
Yes.
And if you think about that, that is so totally, totally true. There's a lot of, another popular common saying is, you can choose to be a victim or choose to be a victor over whatever it is in your life. And, I'm human like everybody else, and we all have our stumbling blocks in life and everything. And so mine was a brain tumor about 6 years ago. Now here I had gone through, I spent many years. I spent 12 years in the Air Force. And that was a great career. I enjoyed that. Then I was in the music business for a while and really enjoyed that.
Oh, fun.
And that took me to Los Angeles, and I was there for a long time. And then when I was in Los Angeles, that's when I got married. And so I was a radio DJ down there at that time.
Oh, because your voice is that, because you do the voiceovers too, right?
Yeah, that's what I do for a living now.
Yes, I love it.
So I'm down there and I'm having a good time, and this is in the 90s. And so, I'm on the radio and I'm running around with all these rock and roll animals and riding my Harley. I had hair down to about almost down to the middle of my back, riding my Harleys up and down with Motley Crue and Poison and all these other.
Oh my gosh.
And just having a good time, And so then I fell in love and I got married. And between my father and my soon-to-be wife you're going to have to change your lifestyle now. You're going to be married. You're going to be a father. You got to do more than just play records for a living. So I went back to school and I became a diagnostic imaging specialist. And so now it used to be X-ray. Now is you do X-rays and MRIs, which is magnetics and ultrasounds. And so they just call it diagnostic imaging specialist.
Right.
So that's what I did. And I worked my way up through the ranks. And I was actually up in Seattle, a town that we shared. And I was the head of radiology at a big hospital up there. Now, I had done everything that we are supposed to do within that box of, quote, success. I was actually in a town. It was outside of Seattle, where I was in a town called Gig Harbor, which was about 40 minutes outside of Seattle.
I have listeners in Gig Harbor, by the way.
Pardon?
I have listeners that live in Gig Harbor.
Oh, hi, everybody. I used to work at St. Anthony. So while we were there, I mean, right next to the hospital, I'm the head of radiology. I got a beautiful multi-million-dollar house at the Canterwood Country Club, which is 2 miles away and I'm 15 minutes away from work. I got a 4-car garage with Jaguars, Mercedes, all this, taking my wife. We're going to Hawaii, taking cruises, and just living the
Huh.
life and doing what I'm supposed to do. Here I'm successful. I've done it all. Then one day I woke up and I didn't feel good. And you remember on the Wizard of Oz when Dorothy's on the bed and the
Yes.
house is whirling, and she looks out the window and she's like, Auntie Em, it's a twister. That's exactly how I felt. I was sitting at my desk and all of a sudden my
Huh.
head was just like, what the heck? And I fell off of my chair. I'm holding on to the side of my desk
Oh
leg,
my gosh.
just feel like I'm just like tumbling through space. And I had it's called vertigo. I had severe vertigo onset, and so of course rushed me to the hospital. And now I get to get the CT and the MRIs, find out I have a brain tumor. And the
Wow.
nice thing about, or the not the nice thing, but not only am I told I have a brain tumor, I'm told I have an inoperable brain tumor. So it's like, okay. So now this is, do I want to be a victim or do I want to be a victor?
Right.
This is where that comes. It's like, okay, yeah, I boo-hooed and I went through this like, well, they'd say, yeah, you got about maybe 10 months, year or so to live before it'll overtake you.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, okay, wonderful. So to take it up to a point, of course, I couldn't work, lost the house, had to turn that in. My wife and I went our separate ways.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's so pretty much that whole get the carpet yanked out from underneath you
Mm-hmm.
type of thing. Everything all happened at once, or
Wow.
within a very, very short period. Here I'm thinking life is luck, just
Right.
lovely, and I'm cruising along doing everything, and then bam, just like that. What am I doing? So now, I'm waiting for surgery. Or actually, I had a friend of mine. Luckily, I was in the medical field, so I had a lot of friends in the medical field. And so we found a doctor, and he said, okay, I can get into where this tumor is. He says, I've done 3 procedures. I found a route. I've done 3 so far, and all 3 of them are still alive.
Oh my gosh.
So if you let me cut on you, you'll be number 4. He says, and I says, okay. And so before I did, I had to sign a bunch of waivers saying that if I do, because now normally when you go in for like whatever surgery, appendix or
None selected.
thank you, or anything like that, then you probably have about a 3% chance of dying on the table.
Wow.
If
Okay.
you get up to close to about 7, 8, 10% chance of dying on the table, most surgeons these days will turn it down because they're more, as the surgeon that did he says these they're more concerned about their batting average than saving lives, is what he says.
Wow.
Because you can go online and you look up, and it's like, yeah, he's had 6 people die on the table in the last 3 months. I'm not going to let him cut on me.
Right.
So this is how a lot of surgeons have chosen to select who they're going to work on. So this guy's like, well, okay, I just had to get legal counsel and I had to sign papers saying that if I do in fact live, because I only had my chance of dying on the table were
What?
73%.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Rob.
I had less than a 30% chance of living.
Huh. But
So
you
it's
had a
like, hey,
positive attitude all this time? You were like
well, what do I got to lose?
okay. And your wife, and she left you during this time
Oh,
too?
she had already gone. I was living with my mother now. Her and my son, they were in an apartment.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay. So
yeah.
you get the operation.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so we do it all. So I get the operation, and I remember laying there in the recovery, first of all thinking, I hear voices. Am I alive or am I dead?
Oh my
And then
gosh.
I remember hearing my nephew's voice, and I went, wait a minute, that's my nephew. He's alive, so I know I'm alive.
Oh, funny. Oh my gosh.
And I had the worst headache in a long time, because they actually had to do what's called an internal decapitation, where they actually cut your head off on the inside. I won't get to the graphics of that, because
Oh.
so anyway, it took a while for me to adjust physically, emotionally, and the fact that when they cut into my brain, they cut through my occipital lobe, which is your visual cortex, which is your visual processing center.
Mm-hmm.
So that has caused me to be visually impaired or blind or whatever you want to call it. Now, to me, blind has always been 100%. That's blind. You know,
Right.
if somebody can see something, it's like, okay, well, I don't like to call myself blind.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say I'm visually impaired, and it's really, really challenging for me to see. But, you know, back in the olden days, you had a stick and some braille bumps to read.
Right.
Nowadays, you hear all these voices and stuff. These are all computer programs that are all telling me different things to do on my computer. There's very, very, very little that I can do that I cannot do now that I used to do. I can do
Huh.
everything. I love to cook. I love to do everything. It just takes me 5 times longer. But I
Right.
do everything except for drive.
Right.
But,
I hope not.
well, my neurologist 2 months ago I'm a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
So the VA is my medical place. So my doctor out there at the VA hospital, when I was out to see him last time, he goes, "Oh," he says, "You want a car?"
Oh my gosh, no.
And I go, "Excuse me?" I thought he said I won a car. I go, "Excuse me?" He goes, "Do you want a car?" I go, I'm thinking, is this guy being a smarty?
Right.
He goes, "No, we got a thing down saying that the VA is now putting a program together where they're testing out these satellite driven driverless cars.
Oh.
And they sent letters out to some of us doctors to say, if you have any patients that you feel would have the cognitive skills and would like to be a volunteer for the program,
Mm-hmm.
then give us their name." So he asked me, and I said, "Heck yeah, I'll take a car." So I will be getting a car. So I will be
Oh,
driving someday
cool.
soon.
Oh my
And
gosh, that's
what I'm
exciting.
going to do is, Cabo is my guide dog, and she's 80
Oh.
pounds. She's a yellow lab and a golden retriever mix. So what I'm going to do, since I don't drive, is I'm just going to put the dog in the driver's seat and then also in the passenger seat so I can flip people out as we
Oh,
drive through
funny.
town.
Oh, I have 2 golden retrievers, and I used to have a golden retriever and a lab mix too.
Oh, did you?
So those are my babies. I love that. Oh, how sweet. So after you wrote the book that I was speaking about, the I Am book,
Yes.
The Power of I Am, how many
Yep.
years ago?
Now that book, I wrote that book. So I'm waiting to get surgery. I'm told I don't have, there's nobody that can do it. All that whole story. I'm at my mom's house living with my mother now. And
And you're
I
how
had,
old?
pardon?
How old are you at this point?
56,
Oh, wow.
56, 57, around in there.
Okay.
And so I was just sitting there. I've got really bad, sorry, my brain doesn't work sometimes.
Oh.
It'll just like, we're going to go on hold for a minute. We'll be right back with you. So vertigo. Yes, there we go. So
there
I'm
you go.
sitting, I've got vertigo. I'm on medication. I'm waiting to have surgery or find a surgeon or whatever. And so this is where do I want to be a victim or do I want to choose to be a victor? So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to choose to be a victor over this. I've always been a victor over everything. And I've always done the best I can with what I got to. Well, now I got a brain that doesn't want to work too good, but this is the best I got to work with. So I just need to keep myself going. So this is a cognitive choice of mine I'm not going to lay here, roll over, and just let this take me over and kill me, which is,
Right.
I mean, when you're sitting there told, well, you got an inoperable brain tumor and, and every day I'm throwing up, I've got vertigo. I mean, life is just,
Wow.
and you got to remember everything just not to vary too far, but are you familiar with the story of Job in the Bible?
Yes. Well, I was
Okay.
listening.
That's
Yes.
what a lot of people call me, is like a modern day Job. Because
Oh,
like,
funny.
wow, you had everything and then it just all got yanked out from just like that. Everything is gone.
Wow.
And so so I'm, and so I'm sitting there, and now I was like, I'm on what am I going to do? I got to keep myself going. I'm going to push myself and keep myself going and be a victor over this. So I started writing little affirmations for myself. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
am a victor. I am strong. I am this. I am that. And so then to keep myself motivated, as being a coach and stuff like that, when we inspire ourselves or when we inspire others, we inspire ourselves.
Yes.
And I've always kind of been that way, to where when I'm out there inspiring somebody else, I kind of, you pick up that juju yourself.
Yes.
And so I'm like,
Totally.
so what I did is I put I was on Facebook. It's like, let's put a Facebook page together called LOA Affirmations, Law of Attraction Affirmations. And I started posting little daily affirmation things
Uh-huh.
up on my LOA Affirmations site. And then it just started steamrolling. And
Huh.
then I'm sure you're familiar with Wayne Dyer. Wayne
Yes.
Dyer got involved with me, and we started making little daily affirmations together. Next
Oh,
thing you know
cool.
it, I've got 530,000 followers on Facebook. And I'm like,
Oh
wow,
my
this is
gosh.
awesome. And I get to inspire these people.
Right.
And so then a publishing company got a hold of me, and they said, hey, we like you. We like what you're doing on the web there. Would you be interested in writing a book?
Huh.
And so I'm like, why not? So I wrote a book, the book, The Power of I Am and the Law of Attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And so that book has really kept me going,
Right.
because of what, it's inspiring me, but it's inspiring other people's, and the inspiration that it gives to other people is what it's almost like that locomotion. It just keeps going, and
Yes.
it just keeps keeps building and building.
Oh,
I
I love
wrote,
that.
and I did write another book with Dr. Nongard last year in 2020.
Uh-huh.
And that has a lot of the same philosophies, and of course my principles and philosophies on the power of I am. But there's also a couple of other um, things that we've kind of taken it and gone a little bit further with that as well. So now it took me a few years. Like I said, it's been 6 years now since the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And so first couple of years it I was more just in the recovery and rehabilitation of learning.
Yeah, a whole new
how-
life, a whole new
yeah,
way
a
of
whole new
living.
life and a whole new
Wow.
everything. As you see, my old life being a Washingtonian, you can
Mm-hmm.
see behind me there's the footprints,
Yeah, the
because in
Bigfoot,
Washington we have Bigfoot up there. And
right?
I don't know about you, but I've had so many encounters with Bigfoot ever since I was a teen. 14 years old was my first
Oh my
encounter with.
gosh.
That's a whole nother TV show, or a whole nother show. I'm sorry. But anyway, that's
But
that was.
when you're recovering those first 2 years, when you say, like adjusting to a new way of life,
Yeah.
are you just constantly telling yourself, I am strong, I am, healthy, I can see, all those things. Are you doing that? Are you trying to just, get together and get your life on track?
At that point, honestly, for the first couple of years, I really don't recall much. I remember they're laying there a lot, just kind of in the dark haze, just wondering. There's a lot of emotions I went through, and I can share this if you have anybody else going through this. I laid there pissed off at God, going, why the hell didn't you just kill me when I was in surgery? Now
Mm-hmm.
you're going to make me live here. I can't
Right.
even move my head. You cut my damn head off. Now I got to lay here. I'm in constant pain. I can't see nothing. And
Wow.
what the heck why are you doing this to me? And
Yeah.
I really, really went through that for quite a while. And again, that's that thing where you straddle, am I going to be a victim or a victor, a
Right.
victim or a victor?
What was the
And
breaking point? Where did you
that's a
have?
hard. What got to me is I got an IM. Is that what we call them these days? I
Yeah,
got a
I am.
message, a text, or whatever,
Oh, yes, a message, a text.
from a lady in Boston that said, I I found your website on Facebook. I downloaded your programs and everything. It says, and I want to talk to you about my daughter. She's autistic. So anyway, so she sent me a thing and her phone number. I thought, okay, I'm going to call her and see what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
because again, it's, something about her daughter, what's going on. And so I called her up and she was almost in tears that I called her.
Oh.
And she goes, I just wanted it. And then she brought me to tears when she told me what she told me. She says, I have I think she said she was 11 or 12-year-old daughter who is autistic.
Uh-huh.
Says she has all of her life. She never talks. She lives in her own little world.
Wow.
She is completely closed off to everyone and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that she does to communicate with me is like for hungry or something like that. And she said, I got one of your programs, and I started listening to, because I have on my website, I have these audible affirmations programs for different
Yes.
various things. So she had downloaded a couple of programs, and she said she was sitting there listening to them, and then her daughter came out of her room and sat down right in front of the whatever she was
Oh.
playing it on, and just sat there listening to my voice and was getting all excited listening to
Uh,
what I was saying. And then when she stopped, she went, to get her mom to play it
right. To
again.
do it again.
And
Oh.
she says, in the last couple of weeks now, she says, I don't forget how long it was. She says, but my daughter, she says, she is starting to open up. She's starting to communicate and talk more.
Wow.
And she just loves your voice, and she loves listening to your affirmation. And I'm sitting there just like,
Oh.
and so that was God's way of saying, this is why I did this to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that I
You
love that.
had
That's the
fun.
magic.
You went on your cruises. You
Yep.
had all your fancy cars. You
Yep.
did this, you did that. Now it's time to get down to what you're put here on this earth to
Right. Oh,
do.
that
And
you're gonna
that
make
is
me
to
cry.
inspire and to help others.
Yes.
And so from
Oh,
that point on, I said, I know what I'm doing. And that is what turned me around from being
wow.
a victim to a victor. Because I'm like, I mean, not that I've always have been, but that was, it's been a challenge. But that just took me from this level of commitment to
Right.
an unlimited level of commitment. And
Yes.
now I I enjoy my life so much better now. And I know a lot of people won't understand this, and
Right.
that's fine, because I never understood it either. When I was, we are so programmed that we just have to work hard, and the early bird gets the worm, and you can't miss the opportunity. You got to do this. And success is measured by how many things you have, and all, it's all material,
Yes.
all this. And that is what I bought into. And that's what the majority of our society, our culture is bought into. That's what success is.
Right.
And here I had 4,000, I had 38,000 something square foot house.
Oh my gosh.
It was my wife, my son, and me.
wow.
Well, and I had offices, and then I'm a musician, so we had that. I mean, but it's like it was so big. And then of course
Huh.
the 4-car garage with all the I had Jaguar convertibles and Mercedes, all those things. It's like I'm making a boatload of money. So why not? This is what we're supposed to do, have
Right.
luxuries in our life. If you turn on Tony Robbins or any of these other gurus on TV that tell you what success is and stuff like that. And that's what I was doing. And then again, not to get all religious and stuff, but I really think, I believe that there is a higher power up there.
Yes.
And there is a universal power that just brings us all together. And it's like, no, we need to work together, And
Mm-hmm.
so maybe if I do this to this guy, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. But
And
I've
oh, go ahead.
no, I've interviewed a few people that are mediums or people, have intuitive psychics, people that kind of see this bigger picture, and it's kind of
Uh-huh.
opened my eyes to that. And I've always believed in, we choose to come here and we have a path that, we've, you know, chose before to learn and grow and expand and, become higher, a higher level of a soul, right?
Right.
Do you look at your life like, like you do believe in God and you do, like you came down and you chose to experience the richness of the life, all this, material, um, abundance. And then all
Mhm.
of a sudden this had to come to you for your soul to expand and understand the real meaning of life and what really brings you up to the vibration of where this whole brain tumor is now going to inspire all these people. I mean, you've inspired me, and it's just touched me to think, look at this, look what you are embracing. I mean, to not be able to see and to go through what you did and know that this is your life, but you get to inspire people and you get to, like read these books and speak, and your voice is amazing. And what you get to do, like you are here for this path, like it's like you
Mhm.
had that Y in the road. I always say like the yellow brick road, and you come to the Y, we
Right.
have free will, but you didn't really have the free will to choose if you're going to have a brain tumor or not.
But
You,
but
okay,
wait,
time out.
I did have free will.
Okay.
Now, the way that I look, the way that the universal power works, God, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it, everybody has a different name and a thing, is God gives me a situation,
Mm-hmm.
but he gives me free will to do whatever I want to do with that situation.
Yes.
Now, I had a brain tumor. For whatever reason, I don't question it. It is what it is. Maybe somewhere along my line, I willed it to myself. I don't know. Maybe it's something before I manifested into this body. It's like, hey, let's do this and then make me sick. And then,
Right.
but so God chose the situation,
Right.
but he gave me free will to be a victim or a victor. That's where I say the free will comes in, and
Yes.
we have a choice.
Mm-hmm. And how many people choose that side of the
Most
of the
people
road?
choose being a victim, and I don't
Yes.
want to say it's the path of least resistance, but it is easier to boohoo and feel sorry for me, and you get coddled and you get a lot of attention, and I'm not saying that I haven't maybe pushed that a little bit in the years past. One now and then, whenever.
Right.
Yes, I need more soup, mommy.
Oh, I love
but
that.
but no, I do agree with you, and but that I really think that choice thing is something that we do need to. I think if people focused on that more,
Mm-hmm.
then I think their life, they could be more, I don't want to say in control of your life, but in control of your life, if
Right.
that
Or
makes
in
any
control of
sense.
your thoughts. Your thoughts are so powerful, which is
Oh
why
yeah.
I am statements are, so powerful, because you're saying that and you can change everything with the
Hmm.
words that you say that are right after I am. And I am it's so ingrained in me and my family that we can't say anything negative because we
Isn't
catch
that
each
cool?
other. Yeah. And it's not even, I mean, it's just second nature. And when I am teaching these kids now to learn how to do I am statements and try to change their thoughts that they think all the time. And, we think what 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and they're all
Isn't that
basically the
amazing?
same. Yes. And you think, wow, what if you changed a few of those to
Yep.
be like empowering and like, whoa, what could your life be like? Like you could just completely shift. And when you read the science behind it, when people think it's all like law of attraction and, but it is all through the Bible. And that's what I love about your book, because you reference a lot of these, it's all about the Bible. You reference Joel Osteen, that I
Uh-huh.
love, because I just love Joel Osteen because he does all the stuff about the power of I am.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I love that, those sermons. But, when you think about, if you look back at the Bible and all these Bible verses are all of the things, the thoughts you think, the words you speak, all the
Exactly.
I am is
Exactly.
God. And I love that. So go on, we just go a little bit on the science part, just so people can understand that, because I really think that's an amazing, I love that. It kind of gives it validity when people think you're talking like outside of their, whatever land.
I'm not sure what you mean by the science part.
Like what it does to your brain, the like
Oh, okay. Okay.
the neuropeptides.
Okay.
The brain excretes neuropeptides, like a drug addiction.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I just got to get my so this will all be paused out. So yeah, the scientific side of the law of attraction is something that a lot of people really don't realize, but it is really so amazing because we have so many hormones that are that and all these going around in our brain and in our whole body. And as you know, like adrenaline and cortisol, those are stress hormones. So when and those are from when we need to, what do they say?
Like fight or flight.
Mama has to lift the car to get the baby
Right.
up. She's got this super strength. That's all from adrenaline. And then cortisol is what they call a stress hormone. Well, we also have these other wonderful hormones in our brain, which are our feel-good hormones, which are our happy hormones. Now, I always look at like, why do we put it on here on life? I want to be happy. I don't want to be sad. So let's be happy. And being a happy life is you inspire, and it's contagious to other people. So what makes you happy? And I even in the book I talk about this. When you're happy, what are you doing with your face? Your face is smiling. When you're
Yes.
smiling, you have these things. You have it's called serotonin, and all this gets released into your brain, and they're like happy hormones, and they make your life better, and they make life happy. And again, with the law of attraction, I always say that where your attention goes, energy flows. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you're focusing on all negative, then you're going to get more negative. So what I do when I'm even it doesn't matter what's going on, I have to bring myself to be happy.
Yes.
Because if I've got something going in my life that's not so good, again, choice, victim, victor.
Right.
Nope, I'm going to choose to be a victor over this. I'm not going to let it bother me. It's like, okay, yep, my wife left me. My house got foreclosed on, and I'm dying. Okay, geez, that's a big one to chew. Am I going to let it bother me? Or am I going to be happy? I'm going to choose to be happy. And of course, people are just like, you're crazy. No, I'm happy, and I want to be happy. If I'm going to die, I want to die with a smile on my face.
Yes.
So,
like, do you sometimes say fake it, even if you're like, just try to say I'm happy? That's what I say to, like, even if you're really struggling, just say I'm happy and like see what happens.
Well, here's what you got. Here's what I taught I learned about it, and I tried it. When you say fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Okay. Your brain knows that when you are smiling, because it ignites all the synaptic channels,
right?
And all the dendrites say smile, and so you smile. Now when all those muscles get into that position, that also sends a signal to your brain saying we're happy about something. Doesn't matter what we're happy. We don't have to be happy about anything, but it just knows that with the mouth formed in a smile that we are happy. So it starts releasing the serotonin, which makes you happy.
Yes.
So if you're having a cruddy day and life's not that good, fake it till you make it.
Yep.
This is called a pen or a pencil or whatever you have. And if you just go like that, you're smiling.
Yeah. I love
your
that.
Your brain does not know that you have a pen in your mouth.
Right.
It just knows that, those muscles are all triggered. There's 70, I forgot how many muscles in your little mouth, in your face right here. But when they're in that smile configuration, it releases serotonin in your brain. As crazy as that sounds, but that is the scientific side of it. And that's what it does. So yes, fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is so. Now you talk about the beliefs and stuff, but that whole where your retention goes and the energy flows. Now, one thing, I just wrote some more affirmations. Now, I have a couple of different things. If you go to that Facebook page and go, it's Facebook / and just go LOA affirmations. I post stuff up there pretty much every day or every other day, depending on.
Oh, I love that.
how I feel. But I just, I have another one. I just posted one up right now. And my thing now is, okay, the I am, I've been preaching I am, since 2012, I think.
Right.
And now I'm more, I don't want to say more on, but my focus is on where our energy flows and what we do to keep it flowing, keep a high on a
High
high
vibration.
on a hot. Thank you.
Yes,
Got a
high
brain.
vibration. Okay, that's what the more you are aware of that and the more you know how to keep it high, then you
Exactly.
bring down when you get down to you realize, oh, here we go, we're dipping down.
Yep.
And then you are more aware. There's an awareness there.
Put a pin in your mouth
Put a
and
pen
start
in your
doing
mouth and
affirmations.
smile and bring it up. But I
That's
make
what I
I
do.
make my girls smile every morning before they put their feet on the floor, because
Good.
I said, you're telling your brain you're happy. So just smile. And I think that's
Exactly.
powerful, and I love that.
So good.
When you think people, when I say, if you're learning how to, oh, I'm not smart, or oh, I'm fat, or I'm not, I don't have enough money. Okay, let's learn how to switch it up. And
Right.
so for this, so when I'm first teaching that, I love it because it's I am abundant, or I am flowing into abundance easily, and then it's not I will be, it's like everything is like, no, I am. We are now. Like,
Exactly.
own it.
Yep. Yep. None of this. I'm going to be, I will be, I'm gonna, nope, 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 nope. And there's a disease out there that's worse than corona. It's called the Yabbitts disease.
Oh, funny.
Because when you tell it, it's like, oh no, yeah, but this is, yeah, but that, and they come up with excuses. It's like,
Yeah.
no Yabbitts
No.
disease. I am this, or I am that.
Right.
Yeah, but it's so right now, with speaking of corona, with everything going on and all that stuff, a lot of people, their lives are just turned upside down. People are broke, people are not making money, people are not working, and all kinds of stuff. So we need to be resilient.
Mm-hmm.
So I just posted this morning, actually, a a new affirm. Oh boy, that's awesome. Are you into like angelic numbers?
Yes. Oh, I'm totally. What is it?
Okay, I have 333 people that have just loved my post.
Oh, sweet. I love 333. We do 444, 555.
Yep.
123 is a number for me. It's like but we're a family. We'll yell out 444 or
I do the
333.
same thing. I'm gonna start texting you now when I like bah, bah, bah. So I just made a new affirmation sheet for resiliency, because people you've got to be so resilient right now, because
Mhm.
we keep getting knocked down in every way. I learned how to be resilient. Trust me.
Oh, no
I
kidding.
am the king of resilience, I
Take it
think.
from you.
So I have it over here. So I'm gonna look at it with this. It's on the computer. And so they're just a couple of affirmations. And I always say my affirmations out loud. You can do, like you said, about the mirror work and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So, and this is on my LOA Affirmations
Oh,
Facebook.
good. Okay.
So it says, I am now rising above all that has been holding me back. I am now choosing to discard all undesirable people and things in my life. I am aware that nothing is permanent. I am aware that I have choices in my life. I am now thinking new and desirable thoughts. I am always learning something new every day. I am now creating new habits for a better and happy lifestyle. I am aware that focus equals fuel. I am aware that where my attention goes, energy flows.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And so
I love that.
those are my it's just one of those it just hit me. It's like, these are the affirmations that I need
Yes.
yeah, I mean, always for myself, but I know that these are going to make a difference for other people, because I have family and I have friends and stuff, and I hear what's going on with so many people, and it just, your heart bleeds
I
for them. It
know.
just
I
goes out, and
know.
it's like, so we just got to be resilient. We can get through this,
Right.
and just know that nothing is permanent. We're going to get through this. And I'm always focusing on what is going to make my life better, going to make my life happier, because I can't really give away something that I don't have. So let me have Now, abundance, when I say abundance, I'm not necessarily talking about money. You know,
Right.
I can have abundance of love, and that's you know, I'm an old 60s something year old guy, so I grew up with the Beatles, and we had a song back then, all you need is love,
Yes.
la da 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 da. And so I'm from the hippie love generation,
Yes, I love that.
and it works really, really good.
Yes. Do you have like a routine? Do you get up and do your IMs? Do you meditate? How do you have to set your vibration, or is it just natural? It just that you just know how to get there?
You know, I had to get myself into a routine. And but it took a couple of years, but now I pretty much have the same routine, and I don't have to think about it. It's just one of those autonomic things that just turns into, this is my life now,
Right.
where it's like, remember when you're a kid, when you tell, like, now I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep it. Now I get up and it's like, today is an incredible day. Success, abundance, and prosperity have naturally found their way into my life. And I gratefully share these abundant these things of abundance, and I happily share them with many others so they can have happiness as well. I mean, I know I stumbled up on that one,
But yeah,
but
you just
yeah,
get
and
up
then
and
I'm
that's
like,
your
I'm
thing.
happy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm loved, I'm secure, I'm worthy, I'm forgiving, I'm forgiven, I'm confident, I'm courageous, and I'm excited about today. This is the affirmation that I have it printed out too, and it's also on my page there. If
Oh,
anybody wants
good.
to download that. Yeah, there's a lot of a lot of a lot of things. And then being the person that I am, and being the way that I am, and I and stuff, my brain has kind of like really weird. So sometimes I write things that people don't understand, but I do it to be funny.
Oh, funny.
So
What
today
is
I wrote one. I'm going to read it to you real quick. It's up on the
okay.
thing. It says, I think I like what I think I'm thinking about, which means, you understand what I mean? That I
Yes.
like what I'm thinking about thinking about. So
Yes.
on the thing I wrote, focus equals fuel. The more you think about not wanting to think about something, the more you're thinking about the thing that
Yep.
you don't want to spend time thinking about. So stop
Exactly.
thinking about the things that you don't want to stop thinking about. Start thinking about the wonderful things you desire.
Oh,
Now,
funny.
there's one
Yes.
more point I want to put that I think is very important for people is, and I don't know, maybe not for them, but I know it's really made a difference in the way that my mind works and the way my mind thinks,
Right.
because we're taught, oh, this is good, that's bad. This is right, that's wrong.
Right.
So when you and I mean, basically, yeah, that's good. But when you start getting into the adult world, okay, Christianity is right, Buddhism is wrong. By whose standards? What is right and what is wrong? So, and I'm just using that as one of many. I mean, you can go as far as you want to go
Right.
with what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad. So I've kind of adapted the words. You said start thinking about all the wonderful things you desire. So to me, I have kind of gotten away from right and wrong, good and bad, and I use the word desirable and undesirable, because I
Mm-hmm.
have undesirable things in my life, but I can turn those undesirables into desirable things. And a
Yes.
desirable thing is something that is full of love that I can use for myself, but I can also share with others. So
Yes. It's so important, the words, right? Instead of
yeah,
saying
again,
want, you
it goes to the words. So it's like when I do my affirmations to the things that I desire or I want, then that's when I use is the desirable.
yes.
And one thing that when we talk about the law of attraction here and talking about young people, like I said, I really enjoyed when I was really young, because I was liking getting those things. But now, back when I was growing up in the 60s, it's a lot different than it is now. And I
Mm-hmm.
really think now more than ever, having a very conscientious law of attraction mind for for everybody, but I mean, especially for youth, like you said, you're teaching your kids right now. That is such a wonderful thing. And I really think, and I know when I teach people about the law of attraction and stuff, a lot of people stop at the material thing. And what I try to teach the people, what I say to people that I work with is I say, okay, what is it that you want? And as soon as they say what they want, what their desire is, I
Mm-hmm.
ask them why.
Right.
And then they ask, and then I say why. And I have asked somebody why like 20 times, and you keep going down and keep going down and keep going down. It's like, because the law of attraction, when it's a true desire from the heart,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the universe just opens up and just
Yes.
rains it down on you.
Oh, I want to cry. It's so true. It's like I'm living that right now. And I think that's why it touches me so much, because I opened starting this podcast. I knew the why. There was such a strong why. I didn't know how to do it, but I knew, like, here I am, 51 years, I'm 52 now, but when it started, I was 51, and I'm
Yeah.
like, here I am 51 years old doing a podcast. Like, who am I? Like, what am I doing? And then it just evolved into, like, I didn't miss a week. I'm into now 44 weeks,
Uh-huh.
and it's come to this place where everything's like this whole light, this opening, like you said. It's like, here we go. Like, Ashley, this is it. You found your purpose. And I'm going
Exactly.
to give it all, because you're living in this place of high vibration, because you're so excited and you're giving back, and you're changing people's lives, and you're seeing a difference in these kids. And it lights me up. I get up at 4 a.m. because I can't wait to see how they've changed and what the different thing. Oh, but it's like, when people get that and you're opening your heart to this high place and you're happy. I said, just be happy. That's all I care about.
Exactly.
Like you said, just put the pencil in your mouth, like, figure it out. But that changes everything. And then when people get that, and it's just so simple, and it's just this place of, that a place of living in abundance of life and love,
Yeah.
and if you can live in that place, here we are in this place we're going to live, and it goes by so fast, like, for you to have half of your life, where you could see, and now you're going to live the second part of your life where you can't see, and have this whole different experience. Let's enjoy the moment. I mean, if anything, I hope your story shows people, you can be woe is me and do all these things, but geez, have an attitude that you are, what can I do and what can I give each day, and who am I? And, even if you have to fake it, let's fake it.
That's right.
Don't be
Well,
down the victim road.
I'm sure you're familiar with Murphy's Law, right?
Yes.
Okay, everybody's familiar. Well, I have a new law. It's called Rob's Law or Robbie's Law.
Oh,
It's
fun.
whatever can go right will go right if you choose to let it go right. Because
Yes.
it really is. It's that choice that we make, and the limitations that we put on ourselves and that's the Yabbitts. And I've already had, because I posted this the other day, the whole Robbie's Law thing on my thing. So it's whatever can go right will go right if you choose to let it.
Mm-hmm.
And I already had a couple of people. It's like, well, doing with
Right.
their Yabbit. They all have Yabbitts disease. Yeah, but you can't. It's like,
Right.
you can if you choose. If you just
Right.
choose. So.
Yeah, no, turn it around. Oh, this has been so fun. I want to keep going. But we're at the end, and what would you say, like, for me, teaching these kids that before they go to college, wanting them to have these tools now, instead of waiting until they're, in their 30s, and they had to, float through life and not know that they can dream bigger, and, have whatever they want, that everything's working for them, not to them, know how to empower their minds to think powerful thoughts that will take their life to the next level. What would you say, like, oh, just instill this one main thing I think is so important?
It's your life. It's your choices. Choose wisely.
Nice. Simple as that.
Pardon?
I said, as simple as that.
Why not?
Right. It is simple. That's the
If you
thing.
look, if you one thing that I've really noticed with people. Now, you have a car, you sit in your car, you're going to go from point A to point B. You got this windshield that's like 5-6 feet wide, long, and what, 3 or 4 feet. It's
Right.
A big, you
Huge.
can't see why I'm doing this only big, because it's a big windshield,
Right.
because that's where you're going,
Yep.
right? Now, a little thing about the size of my clicker thing here is your rear view mirror right there.
Yep.
Now you're moving forward whether you want to or not, but you're moving forward. You can either choose to walk out the windshield and see where you're going and steer your car, or you can spend all your time looking in the rear view mirror. And what the heck is that going to do with your moving forward when you're spending all your time looking in the rear view mirror?
Yes.
Because ain't nothing going to happen that's going to help your future if you're sitting there looking in your past. You have to, whatever it is, let it go. And for the younger generation that you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a challenge because they have a lot more peer pressure. I know my son's 24, 20. I don't even know how old my kid is. He's 23, 24, somewhere around there. And
Right.
watching him grow up, the peer pressure that he went through, it's tough, and it's like more nowadays that it seemed to be. But I think just if you just remember that it's your life and it's your choices to choose wisely, and to choose what works for you in your heart, not what some other person or group of people think. I mean, my son even came home one day, Dad, we need to change cell services.
Why?
Because, well, yeah, first it was like, I need to get a new cell phone. It's like, why? Because everybody has the whatever
Oh, the
seven,
newest and greatest,
yeah,
latest and
yeah. And
greatest.
I had this old, and then it was like, can we change? We need to change to T-Mobile or whatever. I'm like, what? And he goes, because all my friends have T-Mobile, and I'm like, oh no, oh my God! But this is the mentality, and this is
It
where there's
is.
so much focus on that.
Totally. And it drives me crazy. And that's
Yes,
why
and I
this
know
is
you
such
have kids, and I know, I mean, you go through it with the brand of clothing and the all
right.
that kind of stuff, but I really think it is more now than it was,
Oh, for sure.
back when
Definitely.
we
When we were
were younger.
kids. Oh, definitely. Oh, by far. I mean, it's just so much pressure. I mean, just the Instagram and the all the
Yeah,
TikToks and all the things I see these kids doing and then having to keep up and that's a lot of pressure. And
I
then
know.
now with this corona thing and this pandemic and the kids not, not having that and trying to make the most of it by doing probably more because they're so bored, then it
Yeah.
just kind of ripple effect. Anyway, okay, we need to wrap it up. I have one of my sweet kids after this, and I can't wait
Okay.
um, to empower them because you just inspired me. See, when you speak with someone that thinks the same way, this is why I love this podcast so much. It raises my vibration. Like I'm like I could fly like in the clouds because
Isn't
of
that
us.
awesome?
Oh, I love it. It just puts me in this whole different place when I have this, when you can connect and you talk the same language and you know what works and
Mhm,
it
mhm.
like it's just simple, it's not hard. And to
Well,
see what your life is like and you what?
next time I get to San Diego, I was just down there a few months ago for Abraham Hicks conference.
Oh, oh, really? They
Yeah.
had one even in the corona
Well, I guess it wasn't a few
before.
months ago. It
Okay,
was
before that. I remember
it
when they
was
had it and I couldn't go, but it was right down the street from here and I was wanting to go so bad. But I remember going there when I was in my like late 20s, early 30s.
yeah.
I know and ran into Esther at the mall with the kids and they said, "Mom, you have
Oh,
to go see her. Go back, go back." So I did and I said, "Hi Esther. We love you. We're tapped in, tuned in, turned on. We're living in the vortex." And she was really fun to see, but anyway, oh, okay, RJ, we'll have to meet again and you'll have to come on again. And I know you're going to get ready to, are you putting a new podcast out?
no, I don't really do podcasty stuff.
No,
I just
but you
write
do
books.
your
I
books.
write books, and I do voiceover. I do audiobook narrations for. I do a lot of like books
Audible.
for audible books for hypnosis and
Neat.
self-development and stuff for a lot of the other people. And I enjoy it. Make a
Yeah, well,
couple
you have
extra
an
bucks
amazing
here and there.
voice. Oh, and I've loved having you here so much. I'm so grateful that you got to come here with me and share your beautiful life and all of your wisdom, and the light that shines through you is beyond. You're like this angel that came, and you're right. You had the choice and you made the choice, and now you're changing lives. And I'm just so grateful that I can meet you. And this podcast has brought us together and has lifted me higher. And I thank you for that.
It's my pleasure, and I feel exactly the same way.
Thank you so much.